The publication of sins. When we see something unseemly, it is better to cover it rather than make it a matter of public scorn and ridicule. It is wrong to publicize moral transgressions. If some foul-smelling waste material is found along a path, a prudent person will make some effort to cover it with a stone to prevent any further disgust. But an imprudent individual, instead of covering it, may begin stirring it and spreading its foul smell even more. By the same token, when we indiscreetly publicize the sins of others, we bring about greater harm. The scriptural verse, "Tell it unto the church," does not mean that everything must be made public, because today not everyone is part of the church. The church is the faithful who lives as Christ desires, not those who oppose the church. The verse "Tell it unto the church" had that particular meaning during the early years of Christianity, when confession of sins was performed publicly before all the members of the church. In our time, when hardly a family can be found to have the same spiritual father, let us not be fooled by the devil with the otherwise meaningful verse, "Tell it unto the church." For when we publicize immoral transgression, we make it known to the enemies of the church, giving them opportunity to oppose the church, thus shaking the faith of the weaker members. A mother who has a daughter who is a prostitute does not calumniate and ridicule her in front of others, but rather does everything in her power to restore her daughter's name. The mother will sell whatever she can to raise money. She will take her and go to another city. She will help her to get married in order to correct her former way of life. This is precisely the church's way. The benevolent God tolerates us with love and does not expose anyone, even though he knows the decadent condition of our heart. The saints too never embarrassed a sinner before other people. Instead, through love and spiritual sensitivity, they quietly tried to rectify and overcome the evil. We, however, even though we are sinners, do just the opposite, like hypocrites. We must be careful not to be easily shocked and think that whatever others do is evil. Geronda, you referred to the publication of moral transgressions. What about other types of sins or sinful conditions? Is it necessary under certain circumstances to make them public? Let me explain. I do this to some of the people I know. For example, I see someone doing something bad and scandalizing others. I tell that person 1, 5, 10, 20, 30 times to correct himself, but he doesn't. He has no right to continue his disorderly behavior after being told repeatedly, as others will be misled and imitate him. You see, people readily imitate evil but not good. So then, I have to tell others who see it as bad behavior in order to protect them. In other words, when I say what so and so is doing does not please me at all, it is not to condemn the person. I have already told him that so many times. It's because others who see his bad behavior are influenced and might imitate him. They may even say, since Father Paisios does not tell him anything, it must be alright. If I do not speak out that I am not pleased with this bad behavior, I give the impression that I am blessing it, that it pleases me. But then the whole is destroyed, for people will consider that particular behavior as acceptable and worthy of imitation. And what can come from that? In the meantime, they think that I have not spoken directly to the person about this matter. They have no idea that I have struggled with this matter for such a long time. And we also have the devil adding his share. It's alright if you do it. Look, that other person is doing it, and Father Paisios has not told him a thing. So when I see that someone continues his bad behavior, even though I have repeatedly asked him to correct it, I will make it a point of mentioning to anyone who knows him that so and so behavior does not please me. And this I do, as I have said, to protect the innocent from evil influence. This is not condemnation. Let's not confuse the two. Now some will come and say to me, Why did you tell this to others? It was a secret spoken in confidence. What secret? What confidence? I spoke to you 1,000 times and you did nothing about it. You have no right to harm others who may think that I agree with such behavior. When harm can come to others, I have an obligation to speak up, and God forbid if I do not. Especially when I am dealing with a younger person from a family I happen to know, and I see that his behavior is destroying the family, I tell him, look, if you do not correct your ways, I will speak to your mother. You have no right to come and tell me and then to continue as you please. I will speak to your mother in order to protect your family. Now if he feels repentance, that is all right. But when he continues his disorderly conduct, I must speak up. I have a responsibility to do so.